Hey everyone! I hope you get some rest and a chance to take good care of yourself at some point over the weekend, and I apologize for a little bit of road noise. I am near a road, but I wanted to take a minute and ask for some guidance for us having to do with going with the flow of these new energy shifts. Because with September, and particularly with this full moon that's happening tonight, actually early tomorrow on September 6th, this full moon is a particularly refreshing one because it comes after a month of intense energetic work, intense energetic shifts, as we all know. And it will be, I heard it described, sorry, there's also conversations going on around me. I've told you about the Leo King before. He's a really engaging astrology expert, and he described this particular full moon as a really refreshing shower after doing a lot of grueling work. So it's going to have that refreshing, renewing kind of feeling. Tonight is a really good night to write down anything you want to release from your life and write it on a piece of paper and burn that piece of paper, or just really hold the intention to release those things, and that full moon energy will help you with that. So I'm going to ask now about this going with the flow of this new energy in September that's come in. A lot of us are feeling like we're in the flow, certainly more than we were feeling that in the previous weeks. So that stuck feeling has changed and shifted. Now there is some momentum. And then surrounding that, there can be a little bit of fear that we're going to lose the flow, that we're going to somehow, snap out of that feeling of alignment and of agreement and of working with the universe and the energies. Now, it is important to recognize and just kind of see and release that fear, because that's what it is. Sort of like when you're driving down the road and you have to swerve to avoid something, a pothole or something. You don't just keep on swerving and go, oh no, I swerved, and just keep on, running all over the road. No, you correct and get back in your lane and go straight again. And that's what it's like. So when the fears pop up that, that we're going to go back where we were, or that we're not going to be in alignment, just remember to just sort of gently correct that steering. And it's okay to veer sometimes. It doesn't mean you have to drive off into the ditch. Just get back on the road energetically, which just means getting back in alignment with your intentions, making sure that your intentions are in alignment with that divine energy. So now I'm going to ask for some guidance at this time for us having to do with staying in alignment and staying focused as these old things that are not working for us anymore are released. And there are 2 cards that want to come out. Actually, there are 3. Okay. So today, they have 3 things to say about this. A change in the wind, serendipity, and the never-ending story. Okay. So I'm going to start with the never-ending story. This has to do with the things that we tell ourselves in our mind. The things that just always seem to be that voice in the head that keeps bringing us back to that fearful place. This card is the guidance is telling me right now that this is about just being aware of this voice, because it is never ending. As long as we're alive, we'll always have this voice that tries to pipe up in our minds, because that's part of being human, and it's part of the wiring of our brains. And we can do a lot to override that and to rewire and to but we're still human beings, and we're still subject to the sort of survival instincts of the mind. So it's just important to be aware of that kind of story that the mind tells us over and over again. Okay, but also serendipity. This reminds us about all the synchronicities, all the messages, all of the things that you consider good luck or you might consider happy coincidence that these things are actually, this card is reminding us that these things are our guidance communicating with us, our guides communicating with us, the divine, the universe, however you want to think about it, in concert with you. So listening to these messages more than you listen to this. Okay, so you see these are both kind of little fairy women, right? So here's a little fairy that you kind of want to, you want this one to be a little more silent, not listen to as much. This one, she's leaping up, she's jumping up, she's actually being lifted up by this divine, fortuitous message. So to tune in more and allow yourself to be lifted by that, by the messages, by the guidance, by the interaction with your guides. Can you hear those lovely chimes when we're talking about this? How beautiful and serendipitous. I'm not even going to say any more about that, except allow yourself to be lifted up rather than sinking down with that mind, down. Okay. And finally, a change in the wind. Okay? So this is just reminding us that this month has brought a change in these energies, and it is a new time. This card, the guidance that's coming through, is a reminder that everything that came before is no more. I mean, it was an important part of our journeys, but we're starting fresh. There's a change in the wind. This is a new time. This is a new time. You can feel that. You can feel the place of expansion that we've entered into. So all the new, all the rules that apply are new. These are rules, laws of the universe. They're not the laws and the rules that you're used to living by from this voice. From this voice. We're now living this way. So this is a change in the wind. So it's just a reminder that everything is new now. So if you find yourself falling into patterns or thinking about things in a way that you used to, and then just be mindful that that might lead you right back to this place that you've already been, and we're now wanting to be in a new place. So embrace this change in the wind. Look for the signs and the messages. Oh, and then the chimes come again when I showed this card. I'm going to let that speak for itself. You just hear those bells and those chimes coming with this. I'm going to be getting lots of messages, lots of synchronicities, and lots of really good fortune with this change in the wind. Sending you guys love. Talk to you soon. Bye.